Okay, so this is the start of setup, and just to kind of give lay of the land, I just want to do a basic layout. We've got cables sorted into power, power, power. Then if you go over here, these are cables, audio cables that go to speakers, microphone cable, and video cable. Lastly, audio cables. And we'll see how all this connects, but basically you've got AC power, you've got audio, and you've got video. So what I want to do is, if you could kind of zero in on this, so I can identify what this is. This is a mixer. It's for audio. And we've got up to 6 inputs. You see they're marked channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Each channel can accept an input, which is typically a microphone or perhaps computer. And then you adjust volumes on each one of these separately. So this is a strip that would control microphone 1 when we plug in microphone 1 with volume control and treble and bass and so on. And then this strip would control microphone 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. And then there are outputs. So outputs are going to go to speakers. This is called a phono connector, 1/4-inch phono. That plugs in here, that's output, and it should be marked left side. And this is speaker cable. We're just going to run down, and you don't have to record the whole thing, but what I want to do is at least zero in on this connector. This is called a speak-on, so that's speak, like talk, on as opposed to off. Speak-on connector. It plugs into a speaker and turns a quarter turn to lock. And when you remove it, you turn it to the left a quarter turn and it'll then come out. So we're just going to run this down to that far speaker. And the basic idea with speaker placement is that you want to keep them away from your microphones. Right. Because a microphone near or especially in front of a speaker is going to create a feedback loop. So we have a microphone. I call this our microphone number 1. It's a Shure microphone. It's the better microphone, wired microphone of the two. And I say Shure, S-H-U-R-E. It's marked on the neck of the microphone. This will wind up at the podium. But what we want to do is, this is called an XLR connector. We want to connect it to channel 1. There's only one way it goes, so you can spin it if you want until you find it, but there are 3 prongs. And just press it down in there. And then what I normally do is a quick test from here, because I want to make sure that speakers are plugged in. There's a power switch on the mixer here. Before powering on, I've already made sure that my volume for this channel is down and my main volume is down, because you don't want to power it up and have feedback right away. With it powered on, turn on the microphone and bring up the volume on that channel, then bring up the volume. This is your main volume. So what you've got here is each channel takes a different input, and you've got a volume control, because different devices have different output levels. And the key is you want to adjust each separately so that they all sound about right when your main volume is at about the midway setting. Main volume, midway setting, and then adjust each individually. This is your primary gain or volume control for this mic, and this is a fader. So all this will do, the fader will do, is cut down to there, down to just about 0.
Okay.
And what that gives you is real quick, easy. You've got some variable in there that you can adjust a mic level with that. And what you know is you can put it all the way up and never get feedback. So that's part. This is now very loud, you can tell. So, but I don't have feedback yet. If I crank up the main gain, you hear it ringing. And now we're getting into feedback, too loud, too loud. So what I know is with this all the way up, I'm at a point where I cannot get feedback. And then I back off from there. So I would say that microphone's set up reasonably well. Now you might bring up treble, or you hear the difference, it gets very thin. And then you've got bass, you can add bass to it, or take bass away.
Okay.
So that's how we like it, how we like it to sound. At this point, we have set up mic number 1, and I'm going to run it over to the podium and be done with it. So now what we're going to do, we have 2 microphones in, the podium mic, and off camera, I plugged in a second microphone, which is for the tech table. I'm now going to run power for our wireless microphone system. This has a label on it that says wireless mic system. And I happen to use this splitter. Doesn't really matter all that much. This plugs into our wireless receiver. It extends the antennas. We have an output jack on the back of the receiver. That is going to go into channel 3.
Go ahead.
So I plugged it in with the power off. I'm going to bring the fader to halfway. We have 2 microphones. And actually, on the receiver,
Separate channel.
and when I say receiver, because these are really considered transmitters.
Right.
They're transmitting your voice to this receiver, which in turn connects to the mixer, the soundboard there. But you'll see we have separate volume controls for each microphone on the receiver. So I turn it on. We should have some volume. We do. And, you know, you can play with this if you want, but the gain is way down on this particular channel because the output from this is nice and strong. So that's mic 1. And normally what I would do is adjust volume, adjust treble. That's up to the individual taste. The main thing is to make sure that microphones work. If I go to this mic, see, it's not quite as loud. So to balance them, I'll bring up the volume on this one from here. And that sounds about the same as, oh, maybe a little too high. And if I say check 1, 2, 3, check 1, 2, 3. This one's definitely louder. I'll bring that down a bit. Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3. They're pretty close. So they're reasonably well balanced. We've got, 4 microphones working. Next thing we're going to do is connect computers to the projector. But they're going to go through a switcher. And why do we use a switcher? Because what that allows us to do is display an image on screen on one computer and be queuing up the next thing that we might want to do on the second computer. Ready to go, and when it comes time, one button, boom, we've switched to computer 2, and the show goes on. It's a nice, smooth transition. People are not sitting there waiting for you to find a file. So in order to do that, this requires power, this being the switcher, and there's a label on it that says Atlanta VGA, and this device is made by Atlanta. There's a power switch on the front. I normally keep this cable connected, these 3 cables connected, just to make setup a little bit quicker. But this is the output. It's labeled as output, and it's going to end up going to the projector, and it says computer. So I tend to tighten these so that it doesn't just pop out during the show. And then we need cables to go from the computer to the switcher. One computer, this Alienware computer, has a special end DVI, and there's only one place for it to go.
Yes, this is an
And I normally then plug that into port number 1. This, port number 2, is going to go into this computer. And then we can turn them on. I typically make sure that we're switched to computer number 1 and turn on the projector. So what we need to do is route computer audio into the audio system, and this is standard, plugging into headset out. But rather than go directly into the audio system, what we're going to do is plug into the switcher. In that way, when we switch computers, it switches not only the image, but any audio as well. And that's going to go into audio in 1. So that's machine number 1.
Okay.
Its audio is plugging into port 1, and its video is plugging into port 1 video. Okay. This will go into machine 2, come around here, plug into this on this computer. We then need a connector.
All right, there it is. So it's
Yep,
number
and this
2.
is saying, oh, I just see you plugged in audio. What do you want to do? Use it for speaker out? Yes, we do. I've got a stereo, because this is stereo coming out of the computers. Stereo to mono 1/4 inch. That's going to go into channel 4. So channel 1 is our podium mic. Channel 2 is our technician mic. Channel 3
is remotes.
are our 2 wireless mics. And 4 is our computer audio. And that's going to come to the output of our switcher. So our switcher is switching both video and audio,
Okay.
staying with the computer. Now we want to test that. So let me switch back to 1, and I will go to a video, one that we play often. So I have LVTP standard music, and I actually use this video only because I know it so well
Right.
and what it should sound like, and we're not hearing anything. But why? Well, I have the volume all the way down. Giddy up.
Pause.
We're good.